October, Reggie Jackson. That is incredible.
Real quick, before we dive in, we were talking before we came on camera, and I always believe, right, you are what the back of the baseball card says you are. People don't understand guys playing hurt. It doesn't matter if you're out there, your numbers, but tell people what you, because I didn't really know why you were down as much as you were for the Cardinals. You dealt with a lot of garbage on your back foot, plantar fasciitis. I think a lot of people watching the show have gotten up in the middle of the night to use the restroom, and they're like, oh, my God, what is that searing pain? So you had to put a lot of effort in just to get back on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, listen, I think I did a lot of good work in 2021. I think that's one of my best years so far. And the postseason, getting healthy, getting right, getting back into a position where I felt physically good, then I felt mentally good. That was just a continuation of that work I was doing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like you mentioned, it kind of was delayed due to some plantar fasciitis that ultimately turned into a bone edema.
How did that come about? Was it?
Yeah, it was just out of spring training. Just my feet were just killing me. Just kept going through it. You know, kept complaining about it. Kept going out there, just saying I'm fine. I could play. And it got to a point where 2.5 months in, you know, end of June, I couldn't.
You had your back foot off the ground trying to hit.
Yeah, I had my back foot off the ground. So a lot of it was just slap and just it wasn't power. I couldn't get in my backside. You know how important your backside is when you hit. So, you know, getting right. Being physically healthy, being able to get into my backside, sit on certain pitches. Like I said, it's just a continuation of the good work I was doing in 2021.
All right, let's dive in. We did the Verlander homer. You hit 4 others. Real quick, before we get into these homers, I want run it. Get me to the first home run. Pause that. Bring it back just a little bit right there. Give your man some love with the batting gloves, because you're doing something a little bit different than everyone, right?
See
What is this?
The lightning bolt right here?
Yeah.
That's a company called Bruce Bolt, based out of Austin, Texas.
Young kid started it, right?
Young kid and his father started it. They put up really good gloves. They last forever. They feel good.
And you can get a wrap?
Yeah, so it comes in 2 forms. It comes in the wrap, and then it comes in the traditional. But I like the wrap because it keeps my wrist in like a locked position. So when I'm going to hit, it's just my preference.
Yeah.
But it does come in 2. They got a lot of colorways. They look great. They're updated every year. The lightning bolt's shining.
And you were the first big leaguer they ever had?
I was the first big leaguer to kind of push it really forward. Now we got a bunch of guys using them.
Aledmus Diaz uses them.
Aledmus Diaz, Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo, Ian Happ.
A lot of guys.
We got some dudes.
All right, let's dive in.
It's a grown brand.
By the way, you own Mr. Quantrill from the Guardians. Did you know that before the postseason started? I mean, you're like, got 5 bombs off this guy.
When I saw that when he was pitching, you know, it always feels good having some history with a pitcher. So I've had some success off him in the past. So I felt comfortable going up there again.
So the numbers support that this guy's a cutter monster, cutter, slider, heater, top of the zone. So pause. 3-2. They're up 1-0. Game 1, bottom third. What are you on? You guessing anything?
This count 3-2. He had a high. You know, he went to fastballs a lot, so I was sitting fastball.
Dead fastball.
Dead fastball 3-2. Yeah.
Run it. Middle. Get out of here. What'd that feel like?
I didn't feel it off the bat. That was always the best. You know that.
First homer in Yankee Stadium postseason.
That was
That boy Carp.
Carp loved it. Carp was like, "Guy, you're kidding. You didn't just do that."
All right, big lefty, Mr. Henkes right here. Big hook coming up. That's dirty right there.
See, like that take right there, like.
Oh, run that back.
Oh, a lot of times, you know, takes
set up the next one, right?
Take set up the next one. You know, the catcher and the pitcher are working together. When you see you take like that, you know,
you saw that right out of his hand. Big curveball.
Yeah. And I gave him a little shimmy, like, oh, come on. Now listen, he's got good stuff. I just tried to put a good swing on it. He had serious velo. He was going crossfire in. I was just trying to be short to it. You know, he provided all the power.
All right, you're coming back up. What is Austin Hedges saying to you there pre-at-bat?
He's not a big talker.
No?
I just say hello, have a good one, you know.
First pitch cutter? Run that back for him. First pitch cutter? You all over this?
I mean, you know, like we said, I had some history against him. I didn't think he was going to first pitch fastball. I was just looking for something kind of spinning back out over the plate, yeah. Little cutter, slider.
You're in the zone right now. You're feeling it.
I was in the zone, yeah. I was in the zone.
Yeah. Hey, give me this. When did this start? You do the flip.
I've always done the bat flip.
come up to the plate, you give it a little.
Yeah, I just try to the whole thing is
Relax the mind.
Relax the mind. What can I do that's going to make me not think about how intense the situation is? And for me, that looks like twirling the bat. You know?
With the bite
Being
guard.
loose with the bite guard.
Hector Neris tries to go, oh, this is a big swing right here. Ooh. This is where, for me, this is like if I'm Aaron Boone, this is where I turn and be like, this game's got to be over. We go up, pause this. As we go up 5-4, we're down 3. It got to be over, bullpen.
No,
Enough's
listen,
enough.
It's tough. You have to respect your opposition. Houston is there for a reason.
Good.
They haven't lost a single game in the playoffs for a reason. They just kept punching back, and everybody in that clubhouse, top to bottom, 1 through 9, everybody in the bullpen was putting their best foot forward, and it just didn't shake out for us that way. And sometimes that happens as a part of the game.
Yeah.
It's about working in the offseason and getting back to a position where we can correct that, from the past. And listen, it is what it is. Houston's a good team over there. You have a great
baseball mindset. You always have this as a kid? Because for me, I rode the peak valley way too much.
Yeah, no,
I hated the game for a long time because of that. I couldn't control.
Yeah. It helped. My father helped me with everything.
Really?
Yeah. So ever since I was young, I've said this before. He would only get mad at me if I ever didn't run hard, if I, jumped out of the way, if I tried to be too cool.
Yeah.
He would hate that. But in terms of playing hard, being positive, it was, that's all he cared about. And it was also ingrained at the University of Florida. Again, I keep bringing this guy up, Brad Weitzel. I still talk to him. I'm still being coached by him.
What was he, the assistant coach there?
He's the assistant coach at UF, and he's just such an incredible baseball mind. But everything in this game, with how long it is, how many ups and downs there are, you have to have
failure.
Yeah, you have to have a positive mindset. You have to respect your opposition, and you have to know that all that matters is the next opportunity, the next chance you get to go out and do something. Because even if you hit a bomb, it doesn't mean anything for the next at bat.
Yeah, but you feel better.
You feel better, but what's better? You go 1 for 4, but the bomb came in the first and it was a solo bomb, or you go 0 for 3 with 3 punch outs, but you're still there mentally, you're still making plays, and you come through your 4th at bat. It's still 1 for 4, but the perspective there is what matters.
Isn't that
for the
amazing,
next day.
though? But if I go bomb the way I thought, if I go bomb first at bat and I grab my glove to go out play D and I'm 1 for 1 with a 3-run bomb, good chance I'm getting another one. Not a homer.
For sure.
As opposed to 0 for 3, now I'm like, I needed a bite guard. I'm like, must get a knock right here.
You're right, but in my opinion, if you want to play for 15 years, if you want to win a World Series, if you want to be a guy in the clubhouse who's an example for younger players coming up, you got to be able to take the 0 for 3 with 3 punch outs and still have your best at bat at night for your 4th.
Oh, man, that's good stuff right there. Clip that off. All right, turn around. Gators. You don't do much
Pretty similar.
You don't do much different.
It worked in college.
So run this real quick. One thing I do notice about you is you hit with a bent front knee, and it stays bent through the majority of your swing. Like, you don't lock that front leg out like a lot of guys normally do.
Yeah, I don't.
Are you aware of that?
I'm definitely aware of that. I think that's just the kind of the anatomy of my makeup. I never learned to kind of plant and rotate on
guys
that.
hit. Chipper used to say to me all the time, Chipper Jones, he used to say when I was struggling, he'd say, try and take BP with a bent front knee, just to kind of, and you stay more athletic, but at some point, it kind of locks itself out. You never lock out.
I never lock out. But then again, I've always liked the ball close to me. I've always liked the ball on me, and I've always felt comfortable with the ball super close to me. And I feel like if this straightens out, I lose.
Yeah.
So I've always just been taught that the more this straightens out, the more this arm straightens out. I have depth in my swing, like actually lowering, and I can lower a lot easier with my knees. So I've always been grind the at-bat out, work it, and then just, if I have to extend it, I can, bend down.
You're big into your lower half.
I try to be, yeah. But but you look at guys like Goldie, who's super bent, but when he's at contact, he just works so well, and he's actually straight.
Boom.
So a lot of it is just knowing who you are and finding a way to still be.
Arenado's up there dancing.
Yeah, but his leg almost goes like inverted.
I know.
I mean, it's incredible. I just never learned how to swing like that,
Yeah.
And another thing too is
Go to the next one with the Cardinals, because again, a lot of the same, except the hair is just flowing. Those vintage.
the hair with the
That's a
with
good
the baby blue.
Hey, tell the people at home, vintage uni, hair, Wrigley Field, day game. You're living the dream.
Living the dream. I'm living the dream. I mean, look what we're doing here. The matching
That's as good
cleats.
as it gets.
Come on.
You're going to go grab
the
a
pants are-
seafood tower after the game?
The pants are skin tight,
Ugh.
soaking wet. The Bruce bolts
good.
to match.
It's so good.
This is a dream.
And then something else that I'm noticing, you were talking about it. You got a different bat with the Yanks.
I got a different knob.
It's like an angled knob on your bat now.
Yeah, it's a different knob. You know, a lot of guys use it. You know, you see it, George Springer and Mookie Betts, they use kind of like a different knob to all right, listen, you want like passive, things that are passive in your, you know, in whatever you wear to be working for you. And what I mean by that is if it's a knob, it's a mouth guard, you want them working for you without you thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be thinking at the plate, relax your jaw, relax your jaw. I don't want to be thinking at the plate, you know, hand position, wrist
Set your
position.
hands the right way.
You don't want to think that. You want things that are
do
in
that
place.
for you.
Just like guys that wear the guards here or they wear
I
here.
wore the guard every
You know what I'm
at bat
saying?
of my
That's
career.
that's for a reason, and it's passively doing something for you, so you don't have to think
I
about
wasn't
it.
scared of getting jammed.
That's what I'm
'cause it didn't
saying.
hurt.
So you don't want to think about it. So
Yeah.
like the knob, the mouth guard for me, they were passive things that put my swing mentally, physically in a better position as I'm approaching the baseball because I want 1,000% of my energy solely on the pitcher's release point. That's it. And my plan based upon my preparation. That's it.
You got a great mindset for the game, man. Seriously.
Thank you.
Seafood Tower after this one? Couple
It's
bourbons?
Chicago, of course.
Come on.
It's Chicago, of course.
God, it's good.
Oh, that was a
You
backside
gotta tell
home.
Booney,
That
let
was a
you
little
grow your
backside
hair
home.
back. And you went vintage mock neck quite a bit.
I did, yeah. I mean, those are the Yankees I grew up with, so I want to be like one.
All right, we gotta do a little defense.
Oof.
We gotta do a field vision here. You're great on coming in on the ball. That's one of the toughest plays in the game right there.
Yeah.
We'll take you back September 30th. Cedric Mullins going in the gap right here. Oh, why the green glove? It's like a greenish hue.
Everybody asked me about that, so it wasn't always green. It
All right,
started.
we got to hit this element real quick because it's presented by Evan Williamsburg.
Okay, yeah, no, okay. We'll talk about it when we're done.
All right, so you got to keep the lights on. So field vision right here, going in the gap, kind of different. We're going POV cam right here.
This is high tech,
Right?
Wow. The game is evolving.
You ever put on the VR glasses and lock in?
No.
So give the kids at home real quick. I know we're getting heavy, but like, what's your mindset? First move? Are you, open up or
No.
what do you think?
I'm like, as the ball's crossing the plate, kind of like a little like, it's like a little like, it's not a hot, I don't come off the ground, but it's like a little like on my toes, like, because that like makes me, because I think of myself as like a safety in football, right?
yeah.
I have to go any direction like that. So for me, physically, the best way I could be reactive, not predictive, but reactive, is like that. So I can go I can go any way I want based upon that little movement right there, and you just repeat that, repeat that, repeat that. You find yourself being able to go in, go back.
Any coach
side.
ever like really make a difference with you defensively, or have you always had a knack for playing that spot?
So the baseball fields in New York were terrible growing
Yeah.
up. So I learned very quickly, especially because my middle infield with the New York Grays, the best. So those guys, I couldn't hang with them, taking ground balls off the face. It wasn't for me. I couldn't do it. I was scared of the ball. Moved to the outfield. There's no bad hops in the air, right?
Yeah.
So since a very young age, I was always, I understood routes.
Get it.
Yeah, I was
Coming
always
in on
taught.
it's not easy.
Yeah, and that's another thing too is I come in better than I play back. So I play a little deeper because I want to take away extra base hits, but I come in very, very well. So it's just a trained thing. It really is. A lot of people over here too are talking about how I get behind the baseball. I was always taught.
You do it better than anyone. You're always in perfect
Yeah,
position.
I was always taught. Started at a young age with my father. Continued into college. It's always good too when your dad teaches you things on like little league fields, and then they're reinforced.
My dad was the best coach I ever had, and I played for Hall of Fame.
He's still my
man.
coach. He's still my coach.
All right.
Yeah,
Why
so-
the green glove, real quick? I have to know.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. So it wasn't green. It started off as copper, and then it was raining and got oxidized, and then like the Statue of Liberty, it turned that green.
And now you can't get rid.
No, it's green. It's green. It's called like a sea foam or a sea mint or something that Rawlings makes, but it's electric. I love the color. It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice.
All right.
I have a cologne that's sea foam.
Sea foam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives you that smell
These
of
guys
the
are
beach.
so light. They get anything now. It's like we had 2 models.
Rawlings is the best. They're doing it.
Yeah.
Great stuff with Harris and Bader. Thanks for joining us here on MLB Central. With us throughout the day here as we get you ready.